Hey guys, Wes here, and we're back from Imagine Music Festival 2023. We're actually here just to kind of review the festival, and then kind of to help you guys decide if it's something for you in the future. Alright, so the first thing we're going to actually go over in our review is actually going to be the lineup. The lineup was pretty diverse. I would have to say it was smaller than the previous year, but both years at Imagine, all the artists had really fire sets. And they did a really good job, in my opinion, as far as everywhere. Every person had somewhere to be. As far as there was a genre. If you liked a certain genre, there was a stage for you, and they did really good as far as spreading it out. There were some really killer back-to-backs, and that's what that really shocked me. There was Nightmare back-to-back Diesel, really great. Dab the Sky. It was a pleasant, unexpected surprise. I didn't know what to expect from that. It was the first Dab the Sky experience for me, and man, they crushed it. So it was really good. Another back-to-back was Hash back-to-back Level Up. Really good. Then also Dylan Francis back-to-back Knock 2. That was an awesome set. It was really good. The visuals were amazing. The music was amazing, and it was just one of the top back-to-backs of the festival, in my opinion. Now, of course, we cannot leave out and if you've watched my last video, I did say this was, I believe, was going to be dubstep history in the making, and that was the Subtronics back-to-back Ganja White Night, and it definitely was. It was epic. The pyrotechnics were awesome. The visuals were awesome. That was definitely a good set to see. There was also a surprise set, due to Vintage Culture not being able to make it. I guess it was due to maybe some travel plans kind of getting in the way, unfortunately. But Chris Lake actually did a back-to-back with Clooney. We got notification, like a push notification or something, a little bit late. So unfortunately, we missed that set. Another person who had a really killer set, 100 drums. That was actually really cool. And let's see, Immersive. That was amazing. That's actually where all the people went, I believe, because we walked by Chris Lake and it thinned out a little bit around part of the time, and we're like, where'd everyone go? And then we went to go check out Immersive, and then we go up over the hill, don't see much for a minute, and all of a sudden the clearing. And then you see all the camp stuff and everything, and then just a sea of people was there, for Immersive, and that was some awesome music. We've seen Immersive in the past, and that set was fire. It was great. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Immersive, definitely do. I recommend it. I don't think you'll regret it. There were some all over just amazing sets. There Rez. Really threw down. That was a really good one. Of course, we're huge Slander fans. Everybody knows that. And then another set that we really wanted to go see was John Summit. We decided to actually not go see John Summit because of the Slander conflict. Not to mention, we actually got the pleasure of seeing John Summit at ARC a couple weeks ago, which was amazing. But what I will say is, even missing John Summit, we could hear that set was going off over at the Disco Inferno stage. You could see it from like a half a mile away. It was just a light show. You could hear it. The bass was all the way, it was crazy. But yeah, that was a set that I really wanted to see. Fan. but we finished the night with Sudden Death, which was definitely not disappointing. All over. Imagine this year definitely gets our stamp of approval. It was great. All 3 days were killer, and definitely a good time. Great festival. All right, next up we're going to talk about the location of the festival, and this is actually in Kingston Downs, Georgia. It's on a beautiful property, and I'd say hundreds of acres or 100 acres plus. I don't know, but the stages are nice, but I tell you what, like it looks really great. There's tons of beautiful hills, there's tons of trees, and they have a really nice river there. I would say it's not claustrophobic like some festivals can be, because they can get really packed. There's tons of rolling hills, and there is a lot of walking, but it's a good thing because you can kind of chill where you want, and there's plenty of space to do that in. And I would say, overall, it is definitely just a perfect place for a festival. It's definitely one of our favorites, and we've been to many festivals, many, speedways, other places, similar to it, but smaller. But it's definitely top notch. So the next thing we're going to review is going to be the stages and production at Imagine. I'm gonna start with one of the smaller stages, the area stage, which actually had a lot of, it is a smaller stage, kind of hidden up in the trees. A couple different ways you can get to it, but they had some artwork up there. It's a smaller area, but there were definitely, once we were up there seeing Slander, they definitely had that packed, so there was a lot of room for people. But it's kind of like hidden in its own, little location, kind of surrounded by trees. So it's, it was really cool. So the next stage we'll move on to is the Disco Inferno stage. It was a huge upgrade from the previous year as one of the alternate stages. This stage, I would say, had one of the best skyline backdrops, a beautiful sunset. That was, something we actually were able to get some photos of. It lit up like a light bulb at night. It was super loud, a super loud, a smaller stage. And I would say there was a point that it probably could have been, I wouldn't say turn it down, just maybe at a different location, just because of the sound bleed that we did notice a little bit into the main stage area. Next, moving on to the Amazonia stage. Now this stage definitely has a great area for it. I feel like there's a little bit of a missed opportunity. I feel like that stage could be so much bigger and so much better. However, it wasn't bad. It was actually really good, and it had really good sound. Now the sitting area is just awesome because the hills kind of go down in waves, and it's perfect for sitting and being able to kind of chill back if you want to, and it has a pit right up front. So it has like all of the above. It has everything it needs to be an amazing stage. Which brings me to our last and final stage, the main one, the Oceana stage. There definitely was a lot of great lasers. Some utilized them and some didn't, but overall the lasers were awesome. I love me some lasers. I would have to say, as far as production go, I mean, definitely had the pyrotechnics. I had the CO2 canisters. It had the confetti cannons. They even did where they blew up a bunch of balloon balls and shot them out into the crowd, which was pretty neat. But as far as that goes, in my opinion, as far as last year versus this year there was less theming, because last year they had kind of the theme of the ocean, whatnot, would be the Oceana stage, right? But this year they didn't do that. But there was a lot, there were a lot more panels. There was a lot more to this stage. The only thing I would say that I was a little slightly disappointed in would be the pyro versus last year. I actually think the pyro was a lot better last year. There was a lot more tricks it was doing, from side to side. This year, I would say it was kind of mid-tiered. It was good. It was still good, but I would say last year's was a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, in having those the blow up balls out in the crowd, and as many as they were, and having all the confetti shots and even fireworks, for some artists, I mean, fireworks, yes, you do see, but you don't see a lot of the confetti and the balls and stuff. You don't see a lot of that at other festivals. So that was actually pretty cool on Imagine's half. That was a good idea. It was definitely really good. So what do I think overall as far as all stages? I would have to say, it's not perfect yet, but I will say it is growing and getting better from year to year, and this year it does get my stamp of approval. I think that it's going to continue to improve year over year. They really do impress me with what they have been able to accomplish just over the short amount of time, since they started the festival. So definitely has my stamp of approval as far as stages and production. And so the next part I'm going to talk about is the festival attendees and the crowd. I would have to say this crowd was the absolute, some of the best type of people that you can be around. Everyone was super chill, very friendly. Everybody, felt like they wanted to come up and meet you, say hello to you. Very interactive with me, walking from stage to stage, and that's in my opinion, that's what you want to be around. So everyone was really accepting. It felt like everyone was really there to have a good time, and that's what we love to see. There was also a lot of flow artists there, doing their thing, and they were really good, and I was really impressed with a lot of them. And that's something really cool to see. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely give them a 10. That was a great crowd of people to be around. I felt like I wanted to be there, and I wasn't walking around annoyed at all. It was a great time. Next up is gonna be the food and the vendors. So this year, I would say the food options, I would say they did decrease from the previous year, and the prices did go up a bit. But inflation has really taken its toll on the economy here recently. I don't have to tell any of you guys that. I wouldn't. They were definitely not the most expensive, but they were not the cheapest. I would say they were probably mid-tiered festival food as far as pricing goes. I would say there's a little bit, nothing too extravagant, but I would say there is definitely something there for everyone, at least. So I would say there was enough variety. So I would say the food choices were standard. They were pretty unique as far as the actual vendors. Offering a lot of different shopping options. And even artists were there selling their work. There was a pop-up where they had the sponsored by Candy's World. And then they had the DJ booth in the center of that, and it was really neat to see because all of the vendors just kind of surrounded that. And next up is going to be the rides that they had there. They had two, which were great additions, which were the Scrambler, and then they had the spin swings. I will say that is definitely a great addition to have the rides. But I do think this is a little bit of a miss, unfortunately, just simply because they were not free. You had to pay. Now, at most festivals, they are free. Most times that we did walk by them, they were not going because there was only a few people, going to pay and ride them at a time. You want to see people riding them, in the festival line, and having fun. And being able to take advantage of what they spent their money for, to be there and have a good time. So in my opinion, I think it's a little bit of a miss, but not a bad idea. It was a great idea, great addition. I think there should have been more rides, at the very least. Maybe add a Ferris wheel, just because a lot of people love to go up on the Ferris wheel to take pictures, and do things like that. See the festival grounds from high up. That would have been a really good, probably a pretty easy thing to add as well. All right, guys, and to summarize, overall, as far as a festival, I would say this is our #1 festival. This is only our second year going, but we've quickly adapted to this festival and really latched on. So, we recommend this one, based on what we've kind of previously discussed. The vibes here are absolutely great. That's what festivals are all about, is creating good vibes, having great music. People want to get away and and have a great time, and this is definitely a place that you can do that. Not to mention, the type of people that are there, as we previously talked about as well. We've been to a lot of other festivals, and we will not be going back to some of them because of the types of people that they do attract. It's just not our thing, So, that is an important aspect, I believe. One last mention I would have to say, it is definitely a true arts festival as well. Tons of artists there, tons of artwork, bringing their own individual unique flair on everything. It was really cool to see. We'll have a video coming up. I do believe I captured some of that in there, so watch out for that. As far as having a lot of the painting installations at the stages and various places throughout the property was really cool. It's another dying aspect, I think, of music festivals is actually missing some of the artwork and so much talent that is out there. Even at festivals, that add arts in their name, are missing. They have art, but it's just not like this did, I don't think. But in my opinion, it's my favorite festival for sure. So if you've been to this festival and you like it, drop a comment and let others know. If you haven't been to this festival, we definitely recommend that. To put it on your to-do list, check it out. You will not regret it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and definitely check out our website. It's destinationedm.com. We have last year's festivals pictures already up, and then we're actually going to be uploading this year's batch as well very shortly. So please check that out. Check out our Instagram as well, and please like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to also be having our vlog video for the festival coming up. So again, thank you guys so much, and see you guys later.